Jesus, what the?
Hello everybody and welcome to the first episode of the Retro Tech Talk podcast. I know we've restarted this show 3 times now, but hopefully this time will be better. Anyway, we're your hosts, Logan from the YouTube channel Crazy Tech Reviews and Arno from the YouTube channel The iApple Guy. Be sure to check us out down in the description below once you finish watching this episode. But we have some interesting stuff to talk about today. So one of the first things that we thought about to bring up was the whole sleeper PC thing. So basically this is sort of where you take a vintage computer of some kind and sort of put a modern one into it. And so I guess we could sort of talk about what we think of that, what our sort of opinions are regarding that, and if we think it's something that people should do or not.
I think it kind of depends on what computer it is because like I said to you before, Logan, I saw someone on Facebook actually put an M1 logic board into a Power Mac G4 Cube. So they put an M1 into a Power Mac G4 Cube, and it's just, they got a lot of hate. I read the comments, and yeah. and to be honest, I like sleeper PCs, but I don't like it when they're using the case of let's say a rare PC or a desirable machine.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, it sort of really depends on the computer. For example, this isn't a permanent thing, but I'm sort of working on a little project here. I have an old gaming case from probably about 2004, 2005, and I currently have a modern, a relatively modern, maybe a 5 or 6 year old PC motherboard in here. But the difference is that this case here is just a standard ATX case, and not only can it be, I can put the original motherboard, which is sitting right back in it, very easily, but, it's not going to damage that item if I put a modern board in it, because it's designed to have different motherboards swapped in and out of it. Now, on the contrary to that, if I did it with a Mac, it's something let's say for a very common machine that people use for these things are Macintosh Classics. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's just that it's not even that they're cheap anymore.
I guess the Classic is cheaper, though, at least locally.
Well,
if you look locally to sales and Facebook Marketplace and stuff.
Yeah. But a lot of people basically, they'll get a broken Classic or something, and they'll say, I'm going to make this Classic useful again by putting this modern micro ITX mini whatever form factor motherboard into it, and I'll put a graphics card into it, and we'll make a nice gaming PC out of this Macintosh Classic. But if you're doing something like that, yeah. If you're doing something like that in a Classic, though, it doesn't just go right in. It's not like putting it in, for example, this case I'm putting it in. You have to drill stuff, cut stuff, glue stuff. It ends up basically ruining that computer. And for something like a Classic, it's not ideal. Nobody wants to ruin, vintage Macs anymore. But if you're doing it in something
I guess you could do it in a clean way, but I've seen people drill huge holes in the back of their Classics and use a saw and give they don't even file it down. It's just a huge hole in the back of their case. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's an unreversible mod, and the thing too is what they're probably gonna put in there is a Raspberry Pi or something like that. That's cool or whatever. But the reality is they're never going to practically sit that down at their desk or pull it out and use it as their daily computer. So, it's sort of you're essentially ruining this vintage computer that, people pay for lots of money for in some cases. I'm not saying the Classic is particularly valuable. It's not really a valuable model, but in comparison to others, a lot of people try to sell them for $400 anymore. But it's sort of I feel a waste of it. But, at the same time, I don't really shed too many tears if it is a Classic, because, these people they're doing, some of these, it sort of depends too in the mod. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it really nice, and it's going to look really good, and it's something that you can actually sit down and you want to use for a day-to-day basis, that's fine. You're putting it to good use. You're actually using it for one, and it turned out okay, but some of these people, I guess, just reviews anymore, they'll just, pick a Classic up off of Marketplace or eBay or something, cut the crap out of it, saw the back out, hot glue a motherboard in there, tape a screen in there, and then I have this nice Classic, but what's going to happen with it? Most likely they're going to put it back on their shelf and forget about it. So it's sort of it seems kind of like a waste of time, and also a waste of a vintage computer, but then it really sort of, what Arno mentioned earlier, when you have something like a Power Mac G4 Cube, those aren't cheap.
That's just
that's just sacrilege.
I also wonder, I like sleeper PCs when a new logic board is put into like let's say a late or like mid 90s PC.
Yeah.
But not if it's desirable. And I'm also not sure if I like a sleeper PC in like a case from a computer from like the 1980s, because most people build sleeper PCs with like cheap budget PC cases from like the late 90s, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But imagine if someone made a sleeper PC out of an Apple IIc or something like that, or a Commodore PET, or that's wrong.
Well, it depends on the context. Like, let's say like a 486 PC, like a decent 486. Like, if you wanted to like use that case for like a modern PC, okay, that's fine. It goes right in there, most likely, I believe, and whatever. But if you're gonna do that and you're just gonna throw away the old parts and you're just gonna sit it up on your shelf and never use it, then that's still bad, because the machine's still getting trashed either way.
It's basically like turning an iMac G3 into a fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the same thing, but then without a Raspberry Pi or something like that.
Yeah, but like, it's one thing if you plan. I don't know, like, when it comes to the budget PC cases, it really just depends on what the specific case is. Like, if the person's going to actually keep and use the internals for something else, or if they're just going to chuck them in the trash, which I feel like I get the impression that a lot of people are just going to chuck them in the trash, and that's still just as bad, I guess.
Like, I don't want to be misunderstood. I really like the idea of like sleeper PCs and putting like new stuff into like old computers. But the thing is, some computers and some stuff, you can't do it.
Yeah, you can't.
Don't do it. It's just sad, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. And, I understand, too, there's the whole, what's the point in just preserving everything and never actually using it and never actually, just keeping it original just for the sake to keep it original? Well, the thing is, this stuff is getting rare, or at least in terms of vintage rare eBay sellers. But, there is the supply of these vintage computers, whether we like it or not, is actually shrinking, because not everybody understands their worth, and some just get destroyed by, accidental causes, some get thrown away, whatever the case may be. And it's getting harder and harder to find vintage computers in good condition and vintage computers that work. And when you're essentially taking a vintage computer in its original condition, usually in good condition, because that's what they want for their fancy sleeper PC, you're not only possibly taking away the chance that some person could possibly experience that computer themselves in real life and own it, but you're also destroying a piece of history at the same time. And there are only so many of these to go around. So by you taking one, for example, let's just say TI-99 or whatever, and putting a modern PC in it, you're taking away one person's experience at getting to sit down and use one of those, the real deal. And then again, I understand multiple people probably have like stashes of them somewhere, but there's only so many that can go around, and I feel like we should, especially now with all the sleeper we should be a bit more careful what we do and what machines we do them in.
I mean, I guess that we both agree on this like subject, because we're both not like big collectors. Well, we are collectors, but we don't have like a huge collection. I'm not computer reset, so that's probably why we kind of want to preserve as much stuff as possible.
But at the same time, we don't want to go overkill, because I feel like there has to be a balance. We have to be able to preserve stuff, but we also have to understand there are millions of these out there, if one get, because I feel like the issue is if we go overboard preserving everything, then maybe one day it will be wrong just to sit down and use it, because you're gonna take away life from that machine. But I sort of don't really stand on the completely preserve everything. I like to actually be able to sit down and use my stuff. That's the biggest thing that I go after when I'm collecting stuff. I don't want it because it's mint in condition, brand new, or because it's untouched, original condition. I want it because it's something that I can actually use and enjoy, but at the same time be presentable. Like, I'm not going to buy something that's been in landfill or, whatever, but I don't...
Yeah, same though. I don't have those, like, things on my shelf because they look good. I just want to use them. Like, they're here to use.
I mean, they look good.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They look good, but some people just buy these as like a piece of furniture or like decoration.
Yeah, they buy them just, and I hate, a lot of people love it when they get something that's like in the original shrink wrap. I hate that, because essentially I want to use that, but I don't want to cut through the shrink wrap. It's sort of like a battle. It's like, because if I cut through the shrink wrap, then that's one less shrink wrapped item, that particular variety. But the thing we got to realize is eventually all the shrink wrapped items will be open, It's that simple. We could try our best to preserve them, but eventually somebody down the line is going to open them. So, we're really just delaying it. Some everything, or some Apple YouTuber is going to find some original Macintosh eventually and cut through the shrink wrap just for 1 million views on YouTube. And, whoever preserved that before, it's going to be useless. So you might as well just freaking open it up and enjoy it, depending on what it is. Some things might be good to keep sealed.
Yeah, I'm serious though. I will never ever buy box stuff, because I like a couple minutes ago here, I opened up like a couple of new VHS tapes, and I already feel bad.
But
So I'm
like
just
actual new,
no
like,
packaging, please. I don't want it.
So were those like
Yeah, they were new, sealed.
like brand new, like
Brand new.
manufactured, or like new old stock? They still make.
Oh well, new old stock.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, if it's new, whatever, they're still manufacturing them. Big deal, But I was gonna say, hell, I would buy one of those, just let it sit for 20 years and try to sell it. You might be a millionaire or some shit.
Well, I have 4 tapes now, and I opened one package which contains 2 tapes.
Mm-hmm.
So who cares? I thought they were interesting. I mean, I found it at my damn grocery store. I didn't expect that, but I was just walking down the aisle, like looking for some Q-tips, and there they were, VHS tapes.
Yeah, that's not every day that you come across those at a grocery store.
No.
But something I want to mention here is my sort of general rule of thumb when it comes to like opening stuff and collecting and just the whole sealed thing is, if it's something that you actually want to use and you don't have anything else that you can use in place of it, then you really need that, then open it. But if it's something that you don't really need to open and you like keeping sealed, then keep it sealed. It sort of depends on that. Like, because for example, if I got a computer that was sealed, I would open it, because why would I just let that computer sit and waste, never be used, and possibly develop issues that come with that computer as time goes on, just sealed in this package, with capacitors and shit leaking inside. And
that's why, exactly though, that's why I won't like ever buy sealed or like stuff still in the packaging, because I want to use it. Like I don't want it to just sit there. So
yeah,
I want the machine. I don't want the piece of cardboard.
I buy stuff in the packaging, like if it was open packaging. Like if somebody had just put the machine back in the box and like sold it, I'd buy that, because it's cool to have, because it's not like you're breaking the seal or something. But sometimes it's fun to, like, if you're like really feeling sacrilegious and you just want to buy something and open it. I guess that could be like all the Apple YouTubers who are always like opening brand new sealed iPhones and are always getting scammed. Yeah, I just don't get that. It's like
always getting scammed.
There's not one of those videos where they haven't been scammed. It's always like some jackass like repackaging the item and just selling it on eBay.
Well, if you have some foil and you have a heat gun, then you can just repackage that stuff.
I don't know. Sleeper PCs. Our final.
You want me to grab my Wait, you want me to grab my like PC from the back here? It's something I would definitely turn into like a sleeper PC. Oh, it's like a Windows ME machine. Pentium 3. Yeah.
Didn't you get that from like an E-Wave place? Does it have a Ferrari logo on the side? Did you put those on, or did someone else put those on?
No. Well, the thing is, I recently, I guess you can say, upgraded my bed, and these stickers like used to be on like the headpiece. Used to be on there, and I pulled them off, and I had like no trash can nearby or no place to put them, so I just like stuck them to the side of this PC and forgot about them. But anyway, so this is the type of PC that I would definitely like turn into like a freaking sleeper PC or something like that. I don't really care about it. It runs Windows ME at the moment. It's a Pentium 3 machine, and this is just a cool case, and it's definitely a sleeper because it looks like grandma's computer. So who really cares? If someone would see this, it would probably be like, oh damn, that's it. That's a really bad PC. But if you put a freaking 380 in here or something like that, that would be pretty awesome.
I actually thought of it this way, but it would be good like anti-theft mechanism to put like your most powerful PC inside like a 1990s case, because they're gonna see it, they're gonna think, this is just some old PC that somebody's dealing with, and you realize it's like this sleeper PC with like this freaking like RTX 3090 Ti or something like that. Is that even a graphics card? I think that is. And the RTX I think there's like a 3090 NVIDIA GeForce 38.
Yeah, that's what
I think that's like the big one, right? I don't know. I don't know shit about modern PC graphics cards. I don't really care.
I do, but I think there's a 3090 right now that everyone's fucking going crazy about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm always looking into retro stuff, so.
Yeah, I don't really care about modern stuff. I mean, I do. I'd like to have a more modern PC myself, but...
If you see like the little sticker here at the bottom, well, you should probably edit that out. I'm way like my activation code Windows thing. Imagine opening this thing up. Wait, do I have another screw in here? What the? Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Just imagine like taking this on. Great with like a. Oh yeah, by the way, welcome to like budget PC cable management 101.
What I want to know is why what I want to know is why your old grandma PC has like 2 hard drives and 2 CD drives. Like, what was she doing?
No, but you know, it looks like that from the outside. Like,
yeah,
dude. How does it, when you see this? Oh yeah, that's a pro gamer right there.
Yeah,
it's a damn school computer.
Are you? Oh, it is.
I forgot. I have like 2 of these, and one I got from my school, and one I got from a friend.
I have like 4, and I need to.
I don't think so. But anyways, if you upgrade this, that would be so awesome. By the way, the capacitors are really like down on this board. Jesus, they're bulging all over the place. They look worse than my Apple IIc capacitors, or like the capacitors in the PSU and the monitor.
Maybe it's bad of me, but I don't really worry about capacitors that much when it comes to late 90s shit, because usually they just burst out the top. They don't like leak everywhere, but I don't know. That's just my limited judgment. I don't know that much about PCs from that era. I don't really care to, because, you know, it doesn't really interest me that much. But, you know, I have to say, ever since I did that video on that one PC, the Dell PC tower, which is sitting behind me at the moment, somewhere back over there, but ever since I did that video, I've been getting a lot more sort of interested by just like building custom PCs from that time period. It seems like something that's pretty interesting. One of the things I really want to try, I was originally going to try it like with this too. I was going to put the modern motherboard from a modern case I have in this old gaming PC, this blue gaming PC tower. It's the one that's in there right now, and I was going to try to put the motherboard from that in the modern case, but it didn't fit, unfortunately. But that would have been pretty cool. Have a modern PC in an old case, and an old case, and a modern PC, or a modern PC and an old PC in a modern case. Holy shit.
Anyways, just imagine having like a great rig in here or something. Like, I just imagine. Would be cool.
That'd be pretty awesome, not gonna lie. Then you wouldn't have to worry about anybody trying to steal it too. That's the good thing.
I like beige.
Yes, beige. Greige.
Yeah, this is kind of white, actually.
Yeah,
well, whatever.
PCs is bright white beige.
I mean, the front is cheese, not white, but...
Yeah, but nobody would even bother to retrowrite that thing. Alrighty, so that about wraps up our show for today. I guess we'll finish this off with, and we're still kind of figuring out how we're going to, like, refine this down into, like, a finished show, but I guess we'll go ahead and finish this off with, like, a bit of quick, shameless self-promotion. So, I guess we can start with you, Arno. What are you going to be working on for your channel coming up here soon?
So, yeah, I still have my YouTube channel called iAppleGuy. And I haven't posted in a while because I had final exams. I had exams at school. And right now, I'm actually very crammed at my desk because you might recognize this. This is a 21-inch Apple Studio display, a CRT. And it works, and I'd like to make a video about it. Yeah, it's huge. It weighs like 77 pounds. Nearly broke my neck trying to get it up the stairs, but that's all right. I'm making a video about it. I also wrote the script already, so I'm really excited for that. And yeah, that's about it. Subscribe to iAppleGuy, I guess. Shameless self-promotion.
Sounds good. I actually just released a video last night as of the time this is being recorded. This might come out a day or two later, depending on my very, very good productivity and total absence of any kind of procrastination at all in my life. But anyway, I released I released a video on restoring an Apple IIc computer. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, be sure to check it out so you can see how I was able to turn this from a yellowed cheese block into this nice little Apple IIc here. I also plan I'm also plan to do videos in the future on the second part. The first part's currently unlisted because YouTube's blurring functionality won't freaking work, but I plan to do a video on the second part of the restoration of my Macintosh SE computer, and I also plan to do several other interesting videos in the future, so if you found this interesting, be sure to subscribe to my channel as well. The link will be in the description as well as Arno's channel. So, I think that's about it for today. thanks for volunteering to become a host here on the show. And well, that said, we got lots of cool stuff coming up next time in episode 2 of Retro Tech Talk. So be sure to click the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so that you can get notifications when the show tomorrow comes out.
Next week.
Next week.
Right?
Yes. We're not doing this like daily. That's going to be too much. So be sure to click the notification bell down below so that you can get notified when the next episode of Retro Tech Talk comes out. So until then, thanks for joining me today, Arno, and we will see you guys all next week with another episode of the show. So we're going to log off for now. See you guys all next time, and goodbye.